street racing and DVD heists, to saving the world and going to space. This is the change that Fast and Furious has underwent. However, one thing that has stayed consistent is the protagonist of the series, Dominic Toretto. One character Dom has not fought yet is Brixton Lore from Hobbs & Shaw. If they were to face off in canon, who would win? To break this battle down, I've chosen 6 categories to compare them. While I will compare their feats, I'll also touch on their scaling and bring up other characters should they become relevant. Without any further ado, let's start off with strength. Toretto's best strength feats are lifting the front end of a Lycan Hypersport and overturning a Ford Mustang with one arm. These cars both weigh around 3,000 pounds. However, if we say that they are bulletproof, then this would increase the weights from over 5,000 to even 6,000 pounds. Brixton's best strength feat is catching a falling vehicle and then pushing it off of him. This was a 2002 Range Rover, which weighs nearly 5,000 pounds or almost 8,000 pounds if we say it's bulletproof. Yet this car fell on Brixton and he still managed to catch it and push it away. So Brixton has a notable strength advantage over Toretto. But how will things change if we look at their scaling? The scaling will compare their performance to Luke Hobbs, since Toretto and Brixton have both fought him. Even though Toretto technically won his fight against Hobbs, it's very circumstantial. Hobbs was there to just do a job, whereas Toretto was going all out to protect his family. And despite the notion that Toretto's stronger than Hobbs, there's actually consistency issues in later films that contradict this. However, even if we give Toretto the benefit of the doubt, Hobbs would still be relative to him. Meanwhile, against Brixton, Hobbs was a lot more serious here, yet Brixton easily overpowered him with one arm and even cracked a joke.
I thought you were strong.
So regardless of whether we look at feats or scaling, Brixton just has better feats and his scaling to Hobbs is more justified. So Brixton comfortably takes the edge in strength. Durability wise, some good feats for Toretto are tanking this high fall from a canyon, tanking this impact that's over 10,000 joules, and walking away from car crashes which could very easily break every bone in the human body. He also shrugs off violent tumbles such as this one, and crowbar strikes, as well as being slammed against metal. When a portion of a building fell on top of Brixton, he emerged from the rubble unscathed. Towards the end of the film, he also tanked a helicopter crash while tumbling down a cliff. And this is his reaction to crashing through a bus. While not as many feats as Toretto, their feats are pretty even for the most part, but what happens if we look at scaling? Along with Hobbs, Brixton and Toretto have also both fought Deckard Shaw. However, note how they take strikes from Hobbs and Shaw differently. The initial onslaught from Hobbs and Shaw damages Brixton's eye as opposed to Brixton himself, even when Hobbs off-guards Brixton with a weapon. In addition to this, it takes far more hits for Brixton to start bleeding than Toretto, and when Brixton gets punched by Hobbs and Shaw, they both collapse for a minute. Meanwhile with Toretto, it's practically a slugfest. Overall, they both may be matched in feats, but Brixton gets durability as a whole since he's able to take harder strikes from Hobbs and Shaw better. Brixton's fight against MI6 alone is far faster than anything Toretto has. Brixton was also able to keep up with Deckard Shaw much better than Toretto did. Regardless how he spliced this, Brixton easily takes speed. Before he even joined Etion, Brixton was a successful MI6 agent. The incredibly skilled Deckard Shaw considers Brixton as one of the best he's ever known. So Brixton is by far the better fighter, but to be fair, Toretto is a far faster thinker. He may not have Brixton's training, but Toretto is far more likely to stay calm whenever he gets hit, in comparison to Brixton, who is losing his cool when Hobbs and Shaw hit him. More evidence of Toretto's quick thinking is when he consistently uses the environment to his advantage and using anything he can find as a weapon. Overall, I'm gonna give skill a tie since while Brixton is the better fighter, Toretto's ability to improvise and keep cool in combat is worth noting. For striking strength, Toretto's best feats are cracking concrete, which is over 40,000 joules, and destroying an already collapsing parking garage, which comes out to over 80,000 joules. These come from his fight with Deckard Shaw, which is confirmed to be Toretto going all out, as per this interview with Vin Diesel.
In Dom's mind, he wanted to destroy Shaw with his bare hands.
Brixton's best striking feat is being able to dent metal with a punch, which comes out to over 2 million joules. To give perspective on the difference, I'll use human skulls. Brixton could crack hundreds to thousands of human skulls with a punch, but a stomp from Toretto would only be within the double digits. Now to look at their scaling. Toretto was able to fight against Jacob, who damaged a concrete wall with a punch. This was calculated to over 100,000 joules. He also has his fights with Hobbs and Shaw, but these fights along with Jacob are essentially slugfests. When Brixton fights Hobbs and Shaw, he easily overwhelms them, and he has them down for several seconds. No matter how we look at this, Brixton easily takes power. Toretto doesn't really have much abilities aside from being a strong street punk and a great driver. In addition to his superhuman stats, Brixton also has his cybernetic eye, which allows him to gather information on his opponents and predict their movements. Abilities goes to Brixton. As we see, skill is debatable, but Brixton has everything else. Look, I get it. Toretto is technically undefeated, and we can't forget the power of family, but the fact of the matter is he's just never fought anybody like Brixton before. You don't even need to be a power scaler. Dom beat Hobbs and Shaw in one-on-one fights. Brixton not only took them down much quicker, but he also came close to killing them. The only reason he didn't was because of circumstance. The cybernetic eyes alone are something that Toretto has no answer for. Brixton just has way too many advantages. Overall, Brixton wins. He's much stronger, he can knock out Toretto in just a few hits, and his cybernetic eyes guarantee Toretto's not touching him. Even if they don't, I don't see Toretto doing any real damage to Brixton.
Look at me! I'm Black Superman!
If you think the fight would go differently, let me know down in the comments. You made it this far in the video, so why don't you stick around? I've got more long-form content on the way. My name is Ghost of Danny, and I'd like to thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.